The housing crisis no one talks about. Why renting might actually win. For decades, the American dream was painted in one image. A house with a white picket fence, a yard for the kids, and maybe even a dog named Max. Owning a home was the ultimate milestone, a sign of stability, maturity, and financial success. But fast forward to today, and that picture is starting to crack. Home ownership is no longer the unshakable goal it once was. And here's the twist most people aren't ready to hear. Renting might actually be winning. Yes, you heard that right. In the middle of a growing housing crisis, while headlines scream about unaffordable rents and sky-high home prices, something unexpected is happening. A quiet shift, a new narrative, and it challenges everything we thought we knew about the value of buying a home. Let's break it down. The myth of the home ownership dream. Let's start with the roots. For generations, home ownership was seen as a wealth-building strategy. You buy a house, pay it off over 30 years, and retire with a valuable asset. It sounds simple, and it used to be, but this dream was built on conditions that barely exist anymore. In the 1950s, the average American home cost around 2 to 3 times the average household income. Today, it's more like 6 to 8 times. And in major cities, it's even worse. In places like San Francisco, New York, or Los Angeles, owning a home is practically a luxury item. But this isn't just about pricing. It's also about expectations. We were told that buying a home means security, but the financial reality, it's far more complex. The true cost of owning a home. When people compare renting to buying, they often just look at the monthly mortgage payment versus rent. But that's only part of the story. Owning a home comes with a laundry list of hidden costs: property taxes, homeowner's insurance, maintenance, repairs, interest on the loan, HOA fees, and more. Need to replace a roof? That's $10,000. Burst pipe? There goes another few grand. Property taxes alone can add thousands every year. And let's not forget interest. Over a 30-year mortgage, a homeowner can end up paying double the purchase price of their home, simply in interest to the bank. Renters, by contrast, don't worry about any of that. No surprise repair bills, no property tax hikes, no real estate agent fees when it's time to move. Just one monthly payment, often covering everything, and the freedom to move with much less friction. Flexibility, the renter's secret weapon. Let's talk about freedom. One of the most underrated advantages of renting is mobility. Homeowners are locked in, not just to a mortgage, but to a neighborhood, a school district, a commute, a lifestyle. Want to take a new job across the country? Selling a home can take months, sometimes longer, and if the market dips, they might even sell at a loss. Renters, on the other hand, can pivot. A new opportunity comes up in another city, give 30 days notice, pack up, and go. No agents, no listings, no stress. In an economy that's rapidly evolving, where job changes, remote work, and even climate migration are all becoming more common, that kind of flexibility is powerful. The mental load no one talks about. There's also a psychological cost to homeownership. It's not often discussed, but it matters. Owning a home can become a second job. Scheduling repairs, dealing with broken appliances, managing contractors, landscaping, snow removal. The to-do list never ends. For people with demanding jobs, families, or a desire for simpler living, it can be exhausting. Renters outsource that responsibility. Something breaks? Call the landlord. Need a new appliance? The building handles it. There's a level of mental freedom that comes with renting that homeowners often don't have. And in a world that's increasingly focused on mental health, that's no small thing. Generational shifts in urban realities. Millennials and Gen Z are changing the narrative. For them, renting isn't failure, it's strategy. Younger generations are more mobile, more tech-savvy, and more focused on experiences than things. They prioritize travel, flexibility, and lifestyle over property ownership. Many don't want to be tied down by a mortgage and maintenance when they could be working from anywhere or exploring new cities. Urban living also plays a role. In cities, renting often gives access to neighborhoods that would be unaffordable to buy in. A renter might live in a high-rise with amenities like a gym, pool, and concierge for a fraction of what it would cost to buy a condo in the same area. In many cases, renters are living better than buyers, with less commitment and less stress. What about rent hikes? Yes, rents are rising, and yes, landlords have the power to increase rates, especially in areas without rent control. But homeowners aren't immune to inflation either. Property taxes rise, insurance premiums increase, utilities fluctuate, interest rates change, especially for those with adjustable rate mortgages or those who refinance. And home maintenance costs rise with inflation too. While renters might face annual increases, they can also shop around, negotiate, or move. Homeowners, they're locked in. And when expenses spike, there's no easy exit. It's not about one being better, it's about fit. This isn't an anti-home ownership message. For many, owning a home still makes sense. Families looking for long-term stability, people in less volatile markets, or those with strong DIY skills can absolutely benefit from owning. But we need to dismantle the idea that renting is throwing money away, because it's not. Renting is paying for a roof, a lifestyle, a service. Just like you don't buy a car factory to get a ride to work, you don't need to buy a house to have a place to live. What matters is what works for you financially, emotionally, and practically. The bigger crisis, a broken system. Here's the real housing crisis no one talks about. We're still measuring success by outdated standards. Instead of building more affordable housing, zoning for denser neighborhoods, or creating protections for renters, we cling to the dream of universal homeownership, even as millions are priced out. Renting shouldn't be seen as second class. In many cases, it's smarter, safer, and more sustainable, especially in a world where stability looks different than it did in the 20th century. We need a new narrative, one where housing is about access, not ownership, where success is measured in freedom, not just square footage. Final thoughts. The world is changing fast, and clinging to old ideas about housing might leave us stuck, financially and personally. Renting isn't failure. It's not lost money. It's not a consolation prize. For millions of people, it's the smartest move they can make. And in a system that's tilted, rigid, and unaffordable for so many, it might just be the only thing keeping them afloat. So maybe the real question isn't, when are you buying a house? Maybe it's, what kind of life do you want to live? And if renting helps you live that life, then maybe, just maybe, it's already the win.